Okay, guys, here we go. Another under the hood. And this time, I want to discuss the maga side of this that's got a problem, and they don't know it yet, and not many of the people are talking about it. Trump has a real serious people. He's got a lot of insiders that's against him now. A lot of military people against him now. Leaks everywhere. Talking about even leaks about his plans to steal the next election. MAGA base, it's like a dysfunctional dysfunctional relationship, pretty much. MAGA needs these people to stay in power, because if they don't, they're in a lot of trouble. They won't have nobody to protect them from what they've done or what they're doing. Talking about the RICO side of it. And that's one thing that nobody's talking about. And I'm telling you, when it comes down to it and they start bringing this up, you know what's going to happen. It always happens the same thing. It's no surprise. It's no secret. The ones involved the deepest start talking to get lighter sentences and so on. So, the ones that's going to be left is going to be the people that they've been using to go after their perceived political enemies. The problem they have, hey baby, hi Posey, what you doing, neighbor? We have a nation under constitutional laws that they pretty much got away with ignoring up until now. But a whole lot of people are starting to say, wait just a minute, this has gone way too far. Look here, 10:30, look how wet that grass still is. Dew up there. That's humidity something. I got up this morning, it was 75 degrees and the air conditioner kicking in the living room. That was like about 15 to 5 when I went to the kitchen. But that's the problem MAGA needs to be talking about. It's a need situation, just like a relationship, a dysfunctional relationship, or even a good relationship, if you want to look at it that way. In a good relationship, you need each other, right? For whatever. The needs might be different, but say like one person needs someone to talk to, someone to be with, a companion. The other person may have deeper issues or not, or may want the same thing. So that'll make a relationship work right there, right? Because you're safe together and you can talk about anything and you don't have to worry about all the jealousy of accusations. And if you do have those problems that come up in a normal relationship, usually the person that feels that way knows they're the one with the problem. In a nationwide situation like we have going here, and we've been having, and especially the youth, like you see, that don't really understand what they're getting into, because they weren't raised up in laws. They were raised up in this kind of political nonsense back and forth for the last 50 years, right? But they need the people that's in office right now, because if they're gone, and then MAGA doesn't have the MAGA RICO bunch that go after people that they shouldn't be going after, you should just leave alone, have a problem. Nobody in authority to make excuses, or judges and stuff to just laugh it off and say that's our youth or whatever they do, which is what I run into a bunch. And you won't have these people out here claiming Lord and serve type, this is my land and I do this. Not if you're paying rent. Well, if you're paying rent, that gives you a whole lot of rights that they just walk all over. So it's a need. And if I was the ones in MAGA that think that this is okay, well, that's the problem too. They have got used to this and they think it's normal and it's just okay to do this. It's not. And it's going to be taken seriously. And you've got laws still that they've just ignored that hadn't been applied. When the laws get applied, and the judges and ones preventing the constitutional laws we live under to be placed and to be held up in court, then there's going to be a day of reckoning. And I ain't telling this to nobody to scare them. I'm just telling you how it happens. Argentina, the land where the Nazis run to, now turning to China for help because the U.S. dollar and the U.S. is not helping them. I'm not telling anybody to do nothing, to be afraid of nothing. I'm just telling you what the United States is and what its laws are and what's going to happen, because it's going to come back to where it's supposed to be. And all these roving maga insurrectionists committing all these RICO violations, whether they're in office or just people on the street or whatever they are, you're going to have to pay for what you've done. You don't go up against citizens who just protect their right, accusing them of all kind of illegal mess like you do, and coming and destroying their water lines and stuff like you've done to me. You don't do that to people. You don't have that right. They don't write you how to do it like everybody else. You got the right to practice your religion in your little organization, your little house, but you don't have the right to come at me. Your right's in where my nose begins. And believe me, this is a nation of laws. A nation of laws that you're going to have to stand before courts when this is done. See, Hitler thought he had it too. And the Trump administration is trying to look at, and his allies actually are trying to look at what happened in Hungary and prevent what they did in the election. But you can't, an administration can't subvert the election process. There's no precedent for that. Can't do it. You can't declare martial law and kick it out. It don't work. You can't do that. And I'm going to tell you something else. If it gets much worse, the people are starting to notice it, and the people are starting to notice that their money and everything, their medical services and health is going right into the pockets of the wealthy and ain't helping them a bit. And the poor people that voted for this money don't have any kind of insurance now. And Alabama and Mississippi are two of the worst. So the day of accounting is getting closer and closer. And when the people stand up, because the people own this nation, then the politicians have got a problem, because they don't own the nation. They serve at the pleasure of the public that votes them into office. All right, guys, next video.